Hi, everybody. I'm going to talk about the remote work policy given by Google. They have given 9 great tips, which definitely we need to steal. As companies debate whether or not to bring employees back to the office full time, they scramble to refine their remote work policies. One company they could learn a lot is from Google. The chief executive, Sundar Pichai, recently announced that because of COVID-19 pandemic, Google will extend its work from home policy until at least July 2021. That's a telling decision considering that Google quite possibly has access to some of the richest data sets in the world. Among that data is research the company published last year. A team surveyed more than 5,000 Google employees and held focus groups with about 100 more to better understand the impact of distributed work. They focused on measuring the well being, performance, connectedness, productivity, etc. Google came up with several recommendations on how to keep things as consistent as possible for teams that are spread out. I could not help but notice how many of these practices are found on emotional intelligence, the ability to identify, understand, and manage emotions. Here are some of the highlights along with the comments. Number one, make team meetings a priority. The team meetings are often some of the only interactions you will have with your team when working apart, so schedule them, prioritize them even if there isn't anything urgent, and so be socially present, says Google. While written communication is the lifeblood of a remote work environment, a lot can get lost in the medium. Humor and tone can be easily misinterpreted, and there's no chance to hear a person's voice, see the expression on their face, or read their body language. In contrast, virtual meetings are a chance to get those emotional cues and to build a rapport with your teammates. Just be careful not to schedule too many meetings, or your team may feel like they don't have enough time to actually get work done. And number two, show personal interest. Google also recommends using meeting time to get to know your teammates better. You might even schedule a virtual breakfast on lunch together. You should also use open ended questions when speaking personally. For example, don't ask, how is your weekend? Instead, try, what did you do this weekend? A nice open end question will help people to open up and give an elaborate answer. Some engagement. The third one, be present. Some engagement signals are lost when working together virtually, says Google, particularly when we mute the microphone or focus intently on our laptops. Some recommendations include make sure your camera is on so others can see you, keeping your microphone off mute when practical, giving both verbal and non-verbal cues such as a head nod and or even yeah, good idea, and keeping phones face down and maintaining eye contacts unless you're taking notes. And the fourth one is check in. While being sure to give colleagues time and space to actually, do work, Google recommends checking in with a short hello via an encouraging message, a project relevant news article, or a funny photo. You might also consider scheduling a virtual coffee break, similar to the way you might do so in the office. This will give you another chance to talk about your day, weekend plans, or anything else. Number five, recognize your teammates. When working remotely, it isn't as easy to say quick thanks or good job to a teammate, says Google. Be sure to send a message to your colleague congratulating or thanking them Share kudos in team meetings and utilize your company's recognition program. And number six, invite colleagues' participation. It can be challenging for more introverted colleagues to participate in group meetings, and even more so in a virtual environment. Team leads can help compensate for this by directly asking these participants for their input. On the same line, stay in tune with the participants' expression and body language. If you see they may be trying to enter the conversation, give them the chance to speak. And number seven, set team norms. Norms set clear expectations for how you work tomorrow or together with your team, says Google. But they are often assumed rather than explicitly stated, leaving opportunities for confusion. Google's researchers recommend discussing team norms with colleagues. These would include expectations for how long it should take to respond to emails, pings, taking off hours and time zones into account if needed. And then clarifying task expectations and ownership within a team, including when they can move forward if a team member is unreachable and when it's better to get a response. And third one is the best way to share information, and then how often to stay in touch, and a broad vision to help teammates align to your broader goal. Once you establish these norms, they should be documented and circulated to everyone in the team. Doing so puts everyone on the same page, reduces stress, and can reduce problem of low productivity because one team member is waiting on something from other team members. And number eight, use the right medium. How do you decide whether to send a message or do a call? Video is best for more sensitive or detailed discussions, says Google. While a quick message is great for check ins or clarifying simple matters, it's important to recognize the difference. Too many calls, and your people will feel burnt out. But you can also waste lots of time exchanging messages when a 5-minute call could provide answers to multiple questions. And number nine, make well-being a priority. In the midst of pandemic, your well-being is more important than ever. So this is the Google's recommendation. Setting up a comfortable office space to physically separate your work and home life, and setting limits on your workday so as not to work too many hours, and getting up every hour for a short break. So I think they are all wonderful things to follow. Thank you so much.